our court case today is who are more important, defenders or goalkeepers? Who are more important, defenders or goalkeepers? Now, Lakawizi thinks that goalkeepers are more important than defenders. He says that without a goalkeeper, the team is not in existence. Of course, Lawyer Yusakwe also feels that without a defender, what can the goalkeeper do? So these are the issues. It has gone to The Hague, it has gone to FIFA, it has gone to CAF, and it has landed in the Sportyfm Drive studios. So, gentlemen, counsel, welcome to my court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, the last Saturday, Monday, we started off with this, and Lakawizi made his submission earlier. Today, I'll give Akwe the opportunity to make his submission first, because you are of the belief that defenders are more important than goalkeepers. You have 3 minutes to make your submission.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. All right, so, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, all of you tuned in listening, the jury, I'd like to submit before you that defenders are more significant in the game of football than goalkeepers. A lot of credit is given to strikers most of the time in a football team, despite the fact that every department of a team is important. We've got the midfield unit, which mainly forms the engine room, and then the defensive unit, whose primary duty is to prevent the opposing attackers from scoring. Now, what happens is that the goalkeeper, together with the defense, whether it's a 4-man defense, a 3-man defense, they form that rear guard and protect the team from conceding goals. Now, owing to the contributions of each individual player, I think 4 defenders, or at the very least 3 defenders, come together to make one unit. And that coordination, which is very, very difficult to perfect and gel them as one unit, is the primary reason why I think that is tough enough. And achieving that, I'll go ahead to give examples, but achieving that defensive unit is very crucial. It's not a one-man job. The goalkeeper stands as an individual, and you remember that football is a team sport. So the coordination of defenders coming together to form that defensive block in itself is a big challenge. So to have that unit solid enough to protect a goalkeeper is very, very, very paramount in a football team. I'd give case in point, a lot of times we've seen goalkeepers, very, very good goalkeepers, exposed because of weak defenses. No matter how good you are as a goalkeeper, no matter your individual agility, if you don't have a defense that is good enough to protect you, that is solid, that is airtight, that forms that kind of rear guard, you are going to face more shots. And the probability that you will concede with an increased number of shots is high. So you look at the frame of the goalpost and how exposed the goalkeeper is in a situation where an opposing attack is coming on. You look at the onslaught. What will a goalkeeper be without defenders? How many shots can he take in a game if the defense is bad? Manchester United, look at their defense. They are trying to play a 3-back system, the current Manchester United team. Compared to the 2005-2006 winning team of Chelsea in the Premier League, they conceded 15 goals in 38 games. John Terry,
Cavallo,
Paulo Ferreira, Ashley Cole.
Yeah, Ashley Cole and all that, yeah.
Yeah. Look at that defense. 15 goals conceded. And Peter Cech won the Golden Glove for that season. Not because of his individual brilliance, because if you check the statistics, they had faced the least number of shots. They had conceded the least number of shots on target and least number of shots off target. That is credit to a defensive unit that was rock solid. They lost 1 game all season at the Riverside against Middlesbrough. And that is my first case in point.
When Arsenal won the Invincibles, if you look at the back four,
you look at that defensive unit they had in that Invincible team, the likes of Martin Keown's. Look,
Tony Adams,
yes.
Laurent,
they had a brilliant. They had a brilliant. Look at any championship winning team. Look at the Italian team in 2006 where Fabio Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or. afterwards. Look at that defensive unit. Look at the great teams of the Milans, the likes of Jaap Stam, Nesta,
Costa Keta.
They've had Maldini. They've had great players. Look at Manchester United's Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand, Patrice Evra partnership there. I could go on and on with so many examples about how much influence a defensive unit has in a championship winning team. Any team that has gone ahead to win a championship will face moments where they'll be on the edge, moments where opposition teams will attack them. And it's the job of the defense, that 4 or 3 man defense, to keep the goalkeeper safe. They control the number of shots that the goalkeeper even receives, and that should leave a goalkeeper either exposed or not.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Lawyer Eustace Akwe from the SWAPO Consult. And now, Lawyer Kawizi.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much. After last Monday's loss, I've not slept, and it's been a very hard time for me.
Visible.
Yeah, it's been a very hard time for me. But I think that today I'm coming in with a lot more facts to the case. And thank you, Your Honor, for...
Are you suggesting that last Monday didn't come with enough facts?
Oh, last Monday there were a few facts to the issue. And yeah, this time around I've come with more facts.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, thank you so much. But, Your Honor, I just want to say that I have listened to my opposing counsel's case. He made a strong case for defenders. He stated certain teams that had really good defenses, which I agree with. It's very, very important. But in all those teams, they had a very good goalkeeper. Now, if you talk about the Italy team of 2006, Cannavaro and the rest, they had Gianluigi Buffon behind them. If you had put in, and you see that the thing about the goalkeeper is that the goalkeeper is so important that in certain games when some of your defenders can be lost in certain games, so the keeper becomes the last line, and the keeper saves you from certain situations. I remember Man United going to Arsenal in one of the games, David De Gea making 13 saves in that game. United won that game 3-2. I don't remember if it's 3-2, but Jesse Lingard scored 2 goals in that game, and Paul Pogba also scored a goal. So the keeper has to be really good to make sure that the defense, that the job of the defense is appreciated. Because if Maldini had played in front of a goalkeeper who wasn't so good, I don't want to mention any names, but if he had played in front of a goalkeeper who wasn't so good, I don't think Maldini's attributes would have been appreciated so much. Of all the defenders we mentioned, even a defender like Virgil van Dijk has Alisson behind him. Nemanja Vidic had Edwin van der Sar behind him. And these goalkeepers have shown that over time, they are the strongest part of the team, where in the last line of action, when the defenders do everything and they miss a header or they miss whatever, or when you are facing a striker who is really, really good and can outwit your defenders, the goalkeeper must stand as the last line to save you from losing the game. Argentina's World Cup win in 2022, part of the World Cup win, I can say about 55% of that World Cup win
Martinez
was amounted to Emiliano Martinez. If that Colomwani goal had gone in, it would have been the end for Argentina, because they would have lost all hope of trying to win the title. So it was Emiliano Martinez that saved. And you remember that after the game, Messi went straight to Emiliano Martinez. He didn't go to any of the guys who put in the biggest shifts. He just went straight to Martinez to thank him for what he had done in the game. Now, Your Honor, I also want to take you back a bit, because I'm thinking of players who have come to play in goal, when maybe the goalkeeper is injured, to show us whether they are good enough to be goalkeepers. And I can take you all the way back to 1957. It was a Manchester United game against Aston Villa. United's goalkeeper, Jackie Blanchflower, was injured, and then Ray Wood went into goal for Manchester United. United lost that game by 2-1, and the goals came after Ray Wood had gone into post. Again, I can take you all the way back also to 1962. Martin Peters also went in goal for West Ham United, and it was an away game. They could not manage to beat the other team, but the other team also on that day could not also beat him, but it was a stalemate, and there were chances that hit the bar, the crossbar, the side post, and all of that. So there were not chances that he who went into goal saved. So those are some examples that I've brought to you on your table today. I can also go.
Yeah, and I think the time has exceeded 3 minutes. We are way beyond 5 minutes.
No, I think no, he's not.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. I can also take you back. 1996. Lucas Radebe went into post for Leeds United. There was a game against Manchester United after McBeanie was sent off in the 15th minute, and Leeds United went ahead to lose that game.
Yeah, but in the circumstances that you have shown or exhibited, all of them were not natural goalkeepers.
Yeah, yes, so that's why. So I'm just saying that the goalkeeper, the one who is actually the goalkeeper, if he's not there, and any other person, any other player who thinks they can be in goal goes in there, it shows how difficult the role of a goalkeeper is and how important the role of the goalkeeper is. That's the point I want to put across. And it's the reason why I'm giving you examples of players who went into goal thinking that they could save their team, but they couldn't because the goalkeeper was either injured or had been shown a red card. So and also the last thing is when all is lost and it comes to penalties, it is your goalkeeper you turn to. And there are many titles that have been won during penalty shootouts, and it should tell us that
it's about the heroics.
It's about the heroics of the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper for me is the most important in that defensive line.
Well, Council Akwe, when it gets to penalties,
I was just about to address.
Yes, when it comes to penalties.
When it comes to penalties, defenders don't have a role. They don't. So that comparison is unfair.
So it makes goalkeepers
because in a penalty shootout, there's no defensive responsibility. So I think we have to scrap penalties off the comparison table because penalties is between
thank you, Your Honor.
a shooting player.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, but it's a part of the game where nobody has to defend. It's the goalkeeper against a shooter, and the defender could be shooting at that point in time. So what role do defenders play?
Your Honor, can I come in?
No, you can't.
Sorry.
In this case, we're talking about the game of football, of which penalties are a part of the game.
Yes.
So you cannot rule out the fact that goalkeepers play an important part. So what about a team which has a very porous defense, and yet the goalkeeper shows the heroics?
Thank you.
It is basically like a penalty shootout where the goalkeeper is faced with strikers from all angles.
Your Honor, in a game where there are defenders who are actually porous, then you can have a case of comparing their performance to the goalkeeper's performance.
It still comes within the game itself.
Yes. So, but Your Honor, I'm saying it's unfair. It's unfair to with the penalty. I just wanted to address the penalty before I rebut some of what he's saying. I'm saying that with the penalty shootout, defenders don't have to stand in front of the shooter. Defenders are sitting aside in the center circle at that moment. So when you want to compare, a goalkeeper is on duty. You are comparing him to no defender at that point in time. I don't think it's a fair case.
So we can move on from there.
Right. So he made comparisons about championship winning teams, every single one of them having good goalkeepers. And I don't totally agree with that because I've seen certain championship winning teams that don't have a great goalkeeper. I don't think Dida for AC Milan was great. He had a spectacular defense ahead of him, but even the few shots that went on target, we could see the questions. Victor Valdez in that Barcelona team was not a great goalkeeper. If you check the statistics, Victor Valdez faced one of the fewest shots because his team controlled possession a lot of the time. If Victor Valdez is to face 10 shots in a game, he'll concede like 5 or 6. But they weren't just getting the opportunity to shoot at him. That team won championships. They didn't have a great goalkeeper. They had a great defensive unit. Carlos Puyol, Rafael Marquez. You look at that team and you look at every championship winning team. Dani Alves on the right side. And then Jody Alba on the left side. That's what they had. Fabien Barthez, excellent goalkeeper for France 98. Of course, over a 7-match tournament, a World Cup. And then that is why certain people even argued that Cannavaro didn't deserve the best player because it was just one particular tournament. Then Manchester United went and bought Fabien Barthez. With all the best defenders, Jaap Stam and everybody ahead of him, we saw the errors. It wasn't a great goalkeeper. We struggled to win with Fabien Barthez in goal. We have a few other ones, but then I also want to point out that there are exceptional situations like David De Gea making 13 saves in a game, that was actually a sign of a defense that was not good. Because if the keeper has to make 13 saves, how about the shots that weren't even on target? That means we are talking in a ratio of about 20 shots at the goal. Where is the defense? Asleep. Where is the defense? Asleep. If the defensive unit is good, the shots on target are reduced. The shots off target are reduced. The opposition doesn't get a sniff at the goal. And that's what makes goalkeepers look good most of the time. So majority of the time, I would say that the job the defender does whilst he's on the field of play and actually under the obligation to defend, the job that he's supposed to do, if they do it well and are one unit, Arsenal are not scoring as much, but we can give their credit this season to a very, very stable defense, the best in the league, the least number of goals conceded so far as a unit. Gabriel, Saliba. We saw that Liverpool team under Klopp that was conceding so much, and then in comes £75 million Virgil van Dijk. He walks into that Liverpool defense. He seals all the holes. He brings leadership, communication, everything. It takes a lot to knit them together as a unit. The communication, the understanding, the 4 and the 5, the centre backs, left foot, right foot, Ricardo Carvalho doing the dirty work, John Terry covering up behind him. You look at stopping crosses from happening from the full backs. You look at the number 2s and number 3s, right back, left back, the shift they put in. You prevent crosses, you prevent shots, you tackle. The goalkeeper is the last man of defense. He stops free kicks, and if the attacking team is able to get a shot on, the goalkeeper comes into
like
play.
how is he?
Yes.
I mean, he's burned some of the things that you said.
Yeah.
And you still want to stand by it?
Yeah. I just also want to say that there is the penalty issue I want to go back to. The World Cup final, Argentina and France. Argentina were up 3-1. What happened to them? Why did they get to 3-3? It was because the defense was not good. So they had to get to 3-3 and wait for the goalkeeper to help them in the last end. So you can't say that you can't use penalties as a
We are
metric.
not saying that the goalkeeper is not important.
Your Honor,
When
no,
it
you
gets
see,
to penalties, the goalkeeper has a job.
You can't say
What is
that
the
you can't
defender's
use-
job at penalties?
Yes, no, so-
when it gets to
no,
penalties,
so I'm
what
saying-
is the defender's
that's
job?
what I'm saying, that if you are leading 3-1, what happened to you? How do you capitulate and go to 3-3 and now go to penalties hoping that your goalkeeper saves you? If there's no goalkeeper there, how do you win the game?
When it gets to
And that's why the
penalties,
goalkeeper is important.
Listen.
That's why the goalkeeper is
I'm
important.
not saying the goalkeeper is
And
not
you see-
important. I'm
you see-
saying that the defenders are more important than the goalkeeper.
You are mentioning certain goalkeepers. Victor Valdez, I agree.
Isha.
I agree that Victor Valdez was not the best of goalkeepers, but Victor Valdez actually was one of the best one-on-one goalkeepers. He was ever hardly beaten in a one-on-one situation. And you know that. Keylor Navas was good for Madrid in the year they won the La Decima.
He won 3 Champions League.
Exactly, and even in the year they won the La Decima, he was so crucial for them.
But with all these names you are mentioning, look at the defenders in front of
No,
them.
but you see, that's the thing.
Carlos
That's why-
Puyol,
that's why
Rafael
I gave you-
Marquez,
That's why I gave you an
Sergio
example.
Ramos,
See,
Pepe.
You mentioned Virgil van Dijk. Before Van Dijk came into Liverpool, either before or after, Klopp had to change the goalkeeper to Alisson.
Yes.
Imagine if Van Dijk had played in front of Loris Karius. What do you think would have happened?
If Van
What do you
Dijk
think would
had
happen?
played in that Liverpool,
You see, and
regardless of who was in goal, regardless of who was in goal,
for me. You're actually building my point for me.
Regardless,
Because you said Fabian Barthez. I agree. Fabian Barthez was not the best goalkeeper. But if you are saying
he had a good unit.
Wait. If you are saying the defenders are more important, then why didn't Jaap Stam and the rest save Manchester United when they had a poor goalkeeper? The goalkeeper is so that's the thing.
What happens is that if the goalkeeper is poor, listen, okay, let me go with the numbers. If the goalkeeper is poor in a game, on average, you get both teams shooting about 6-7 shots on target. If Fabian Barthez is bad, and the 6-7 shots or 5 shots that are shot at him, 3 will enter the net. But if you have a good defense and they're able to reduce the opposing team's potency to shoot only 3 times in the game or 2 times in the game, it might not expose that weakness from
Also,
Barthez.
if you have a great goalkeeper, if you have an Alisson behind you, those 6 shots, he saves 5 of them or he saves 4 of them. and your team still stays in the game.
But that's what I'm not saying that the goalkeeper is not
And the
important.
goalkeeper is important.
I am saying that relatively,
It's more important.
the defender is the
More
defender
important.
that is more important.
No.
I'm not downplaying the goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper
I'm giving
is-
reasons as
the
to why
goalkeeping
the
is more
defensive
important.
unit.
The
Who
goalkeeping is more
protects the
important.
goalkeeper? Who watches the watchman? Who protects the goalkeeper?
But who watches the goal?
That's what I'm saying. You are watching the goal, and then I'm watching you.
The goalkeeper watches the
You
goal.
are watching your small sister, and father and mother is watching you.
No, I'm watching the goal. The goal is the most
But
important.
that's what I'm saying.
The goal is the most
That's what I'm saying,
important
that you are
thing.
watching
But
a
if
younger
you're-
sibling.
But in all of this, a defender can make a mistake, and
Thank
the
you.
goalkeeper is the last line.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you,
defense.
Your Honor.
Yes, that is
Yes.
one aspect of it. But in a game of 90 minutes, you rely on the defense, that four-man unit. Majority of the time, you are talking about a
Than the
moment.
goalkeeper.
Of course. Then they recycle play. They start the build-up starts from there. They are not only defending, shielding the goalkeeper. Even though their primary job is to defend, they launch attacks.
Oh no, but in modern football, goalkeepers are launching attacks now.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what
Goalkeepers are launching attacks these days.
Listen.
So the goalkeeper,
So how many passes per game does a defender give compared to a goalkeeper?
no, I mean that's
It's
not
more.
the point. But I'm saying
It's
that.
more.
But I'm saying that if you are talking about launching attacks these days, goalkeepers
Charlie,
are
these
also
days they
starting.
play out from the back.
Yes,
the goalkeepers,
exactly.
the boom boom they stop.
Exactly.
The goalkeeper passes to the defender.
Yeah.
Who takes control?
Yeah, but
The attack starts from
but the thing is,
Virgil van Dijk.
But the thing is, if the goalkeeper doesn't give out a good pass,
if it's a goal, if it's a goal kick,
pass.
what options does he have?
No, but I'm saying, but we've had instances where goalkeepers have passed to opposing
Oh,
players.
those are
and they've gone to score.
exceptions. Those are a
But
few
they not
exceptions to the rule.
They are not
The
exceptions.
normal thing
It
that happens.
happens.
The normal thing
No,
that happens.
It happens.
How many
It
times in a
happens.
game does that happen?
It happens.
How many times in a game?
This season,
You pass-
this season I've seen it about 5-6 times.
Do you know how many
Where-
passes have been made from a goalkeeper to a defender?
Yeah,
this
but
season?
it's still an error.
Hundreds of passes,
It's still
not
an
5
error,
or
but
6
it's still
times.
an error.
So I'm saying
It's
that
still an error.
comparatively, relatively, I'm not saying the goalkeeper is not important. I'm saying that
Your Honor,
the defensive unit shields the goalkeeper most of the time. They reduce the danger the goalkeeper faces.
Your Honor, the goalkeeper is the most important. And I'm going to stand by it because, look, everything you've mentioned, I don't think that Cannavaro wins that Ballon d'Or and that World Cup if he didn't have Gianluigi Buffon behind him. The goalkeeper is the last man. He has to make the most saves in many cases. When the defender makes an error or makes a mistake,
There are four defenders.
the goalkeeper has to come in.
There are 4 defenders that cover up for each
Look,
other.
the laterals are usually not in the mix when the ball is in the box. You know that. The laterals are
The
usually
ball
not in
has
the
to
mix.
come from the wings to get into the
No,
box.
but I'm saying that what if they are look, the Kolomwani chance. The
Paolo Maldini.
The Kolomwani chance.
It came from the middle.
It came from the middle.
It came from the
How does
middle.
the lateral stop that?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
The
That
two
there
defenders.
are attacks
Yeah.
where Paolo Maldini at left back will have to prevent that cross from coming in.
But in the case
To
where-
prevent the header before the centre
but in
back
the-
fights for the header before the goalkeeper even has to make a save.
But the centre-
have you seen the sequence of play?
but the centre backs makes mistake. The centre back can make a mistake.
But
in
that-
instances where
and that is
he
why
can
there are
miss a
2
header.
centre backs,
And that's what I'm
and
saying
one is
that-
a covering
And that's what I'm saying that the
centre back.
the goalkeeper at the back
The goalkeeper, after everything is lost, the last course, one on one, then Victor Valdez, go make save.
But they are long-
then the process.
But they are long
to
way
have,
short.
to have Maldini.
But that can change the dynamics.
It can
of
change the
game.
dynamics of the
But
game.
that's what I'm saying. That imagine the defense. Look at Manchester United's defense. Look at Spurs. Look at Ange Postecoglou's defense. He's scoring 45 goals by a defensive unit. That's considered 36 goals so far in there. It makes it.
His goalkeeper is injured.
His goalkeeper isn't there a goalkeeper?
Vicario is injured.
Isn't there a
Vicario-
goalkeeper? You mean if Vicario was in goal, the goals would have reduced? When did Vicario
Yeah,
get
of course.
injured?
Of course, the goals would have reduced.
It wouldn't have reduced.
The goals would have
it wouldn't have
reduced.
changed much.
The goals would have
by
reduced.
what 5 or 6.
The goals would have reduced.
Spurs.
The goals would
Okay, when he was playing,
Yeah.
what was their defensive?
I don't
their
have the statistics.
But I'm telling
I don't
you,
have the statistics.
I am
but,
telling you
but I know
that
Vicario.
no matter how flamboyant
than-
your football is, when you have a weak defense, it will expose the goalkeeper.
When you have a weak goalkeeper, you leak goals.
When you have a weak goalkeeper, you
When-
can get by with a good defense.
You can't get by.
You can get by with a
can't
good
get
defense.
by. You
That is why
definitely
Victor Valdez
concede.
has so many
You
medals.
definitely concede.
Victor Valdez.
Who is more important in the game, the defender or the goalkeeper? The defense or the goalkeeper? Who is more important in the game? 054-257-1061. You can send us a voice note as well. You can call and then tell us who is more important in the game, like this.
Your Honor.
Yes.
The final message for me is just one phrase.
Okay, quickly because I have to go on the phone.
Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson, once said after coaching Manchester United for 26 years, he said that attacks win you games, defense wins you championships.
Good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Good evening.
Yana.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Good evening, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
In the game, who are the most important, defenders or goalkeepers?
Goalkeeper is the most important part in football. Let me tell you one thing.
Tell me.
After a tournament, what do they give the defender? They give the goalkeeper a golden glove. Because of his
Exceptional performance.
on the field. Yeah. So there's this sequence when a defender swapper. He was saying that the penalty is not, but you can't score penalty from football because a defender can make a silly mistake.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come to the goalkeeper and the goal is empty, I mean the striker will just put the ball inside them.
Yeah.
This is the Manchester versus Southampton. This sequence, like the defenders were having a bad game, and they considered the penalty. Except from Onana, since the sequence of the game.
Yeah.
So a defender is the most important thing. After this one, they carry the challenge. I agree with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. So 054-257-1061. So he says that a goalkeeper is the most important. That's the first caller. And what he said on this show, you can be calling us on 054-257-1061. You can also send us a voice note to that effect. And we'll take another call. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name?
Daniel.
Okay, Daniel, who is more important, goalkeepers or defenders?
It's goalkeepers.
Goalkeepers are more important. Why?
They are the final line of defense. When the defenders fail to stop the attacking players of the opposing team, it's up to the goalkeeper to save the shot from the opposing team. And also in a situation such as a free kick, when there's a defensive wall made up of defenders, when the player is able to scale the ball around the defensive wall, it's left to the goalkeeper to save it. And if the goalkeeper saves it, he is the one who puts in the effort to stop the shot. That's why I think goalkeepers are the most important.
Daniel, how old do you say you were? The last time you said you were what, 13?
11.
11. Where do you live? Where?
11.
Where do you live? Where do you live? Daniel, where do you live? Oibi.
Yes.
I want to personally invite you to my studio on Friday, okay? I want to invite you to my studio on Friday, okay?
Yes, I can't hear you. Let me move.
Okay, I will speak to you off air, and then your parents will bring you to me on Friday, okay? Come and visit me in the studio on Friday. I just love your analysis as a young man, okay? Great. So that's my new young friend, Daniel, and he's 11. But he's made some very interesting points. At 11, he's really speaking football language. I'd love to have him in the studio on Friday as we do our show here. So we'll take more calls, 054-257-1061. Currently, Kawizi seems to be in the lead as far as, says he's done his homework. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Your name is?
Yeah, my name is Della.
Della, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tema Mataiko.
Okay. Della, more importantly, who? Goalkeepers or defenders?
Okay, so first of all, I think both of them are quite very important. But then I feel that the defenders are a little bit important than the goalkeeper. Why am I saying this? I think over the years, we've witnessed great teams not have very good or quality goalkeepers. But at the end of the day, let's use Barcelona, for instance. Victor Valdes, he wasn't that much of a world-class status, but because he had a good defense in front of him, they were able to go far and win a lot of trophies. We can use Liverpool as an example. Before Alisson came, they went to the finals and they went far, like they were able to compete. But then, at the end of the day, you still need that icing. They still needed Alisson to cross over to where they actually wanted to be. So I feel that if the combination is good, a good goalkeeper, good defense, it's excellent. But then if the defense is good and the keeper is not all that good, you can go far. But if the defense is bad and the keeper is good, I don't, because let's use, we have teams like maybe Everton and with good goalkeepers. But then again, if the defense is conceding 15, 20 shots a game, you are definitely not going to go far. We can use United when De Gea was at his peak. De Gea was at his peak. He was an excellent world-class goalkeeper. At the point, he was the world number one. But then again, if your defense is conceding 15 shots at every game, you are bound to concede more. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. So we can still get onto the phone line 054 2571061. You can send us your messages and send us your voice notes as well. We'll play them as and when they come in, and then we'll pick up a couple more calls. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name is?
My name is Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, turn down the volume. I could hear myself.
Oh, okay.
Great. Ezekiel, who do you support? Goalkeepers or defenders?
Is it okay?
Great. Let's talk.
Hello.
Defenders or goalkeepers?
Please, it's defenders.
It's defenders.
Yes, please.
Why?
Let's say we are playing football, and let's take this defenders out of the game. There will not be any difficult plan for you to score. Strikers and other players shoot from back because of defenders. You have to shoot from back because of defenders. If there's no defense, just go to the goalkeeper and score. If a good striker gets one-on-one with a goalkeeper 3 times, a good striker, no matter how good goalkeeper you are, if Ronaldo or Messi gets you one-on-one 3 times, you are going to get, even all the 3 will be in the net. So if there are defenders, you have to plan well before you can even shoot. So if there's no defenders in the game, like the goalkeeper is nothing.
Okay.
Because you can buy a good goalkeeper, and so if the defenders are not good, as my colleague said, that Everton Pickford is a very good goalkeeper.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford.
But because of where he plays, he's a very good goalkeeper. But where is his team every day?
Okay.
That is how important defenders are.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. And then, so it's 2 apiece now. We're going in 054-257-1061, and I will see who is going to be on my line. And then this is the verdict. We are still looking at who are more important in the game, goalkeepers or defenders. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Banson.
Your name is?
I'm so calling from KG.
Let's hear you. Goalkeepers or defenders?
Okay, this time I'm agreeing with how easy again. Goalkeepers are very important in our game, more than the defenders, I think. I mean, I've heard a lot of my other callers that have said a lot, but let me also put this in perspective. When a player gets injured on the field, okay, let's say we are talking about goalkeepers and defenders. For the defenders, the referee will ask for the physios to come and treat the defenders. After they are treated, they are asked to step outside the game, go and stand outside for some few minutes
and come back in.
They don't do the same thing to the goalkeepers. Because the goalkeepers will be treated on field, allow for them to recover, and then before the matches continue. So obviously, in that aspect, the goalkeepers are very important to the game.
Okay.
Also, with the football is mostly played in phases. You can't attack all game. You can't defend all game. Okay. So if the opposition team is attacking, okay, they need a very stout goalkeeper, okay, as the last line of defense, because defenders can be passive in the game. You can't have a passive goalkeeper. Look at Onana. You see, Onana, even though Onana is not a world-class goalkeeper, but lately some of the saves Onana have been doing, if not for him, where United are right now, would have been in the relegation zone. Because you can't be defending with Maguire and Delete and think you have a good defenders in front of you. No. 50% of where United is or are right now, even though Onana is no good, is because of the saves Onana has been making. So it is very important. Goalkeepers are actually one of the most important positions we have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling. And we're getting on. So our time is far gone. I'm going to take 2 more calls that will determine where we would be as far as this case is concerned. I'll take 2 more calls and then that will be it. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Banson.
Your name is? Danakweku. Defenders or goalkeepers?
I'll go for keepers.
You go for goalkeepers?
Yes, I'll go for goalkeepers.
Why?
Good evening to you and your panelists over there.
Good evening.
First of all, if you all remember, keepers have let down a lot of teams. A typical example is Liverpool and Real Madrid, Champions League final.
Carrios.
You see what Carrios did? You let them down totally. But when they got a different keeper, what happened? They won the championship. And also, keeper is the only player that when he receives a red card, immediately, either a player has to defend to a keeper or a player has to go out for a keeper to come in. Just these 2 points to win the keeper's case.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'll take a last call and then I would end this one. It's looking one way. It's going in a particular way. This case is going in a particular way. And we'll see. But are you surprised at the way? Okay, let me take this last call and come back to you guys. Hello, good evening.
Evening.
Your name is?
This is Pape Stick back.
Pape Stick?
Yo.
Goalkeepers or defenders?
Oh, I think it's goalkeepers.
It's goalkeepers, eh?
Yes. Let me use Chelsea when they won their last Champions League. That season that Tuchel took them. They look at their goalkeeper, Eduardo Mendy. Every one-on-one situation, you trust him that he can save it.
Yeah.
Even though Chelsea was having Thiago Silva and then Rudiger as central defenders. But when you look at save that Mendy made that season, I think that kept them in the Champions League and they won it. And when sometimes too, when they are playing league cups, you see that when they create penalties, because Kepa was good in penalties, then Tuchel will change Kepa to come and save the penalties, and he will save it too. But if you are not having that qualities as the back there, I think the defender can save you. So me, I am for the goalkeepers.
Okay. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, Council Kawizi and Council Eustace, I'm sure you have listened to your callers. It has gone one way. Kawizi, I like to pronounce you the winner of this event.
Your Honor, I just want to say that today is the happiest day since Sportyfm started. The happiest day since the station started. And I just want to thank all my all the callers, for listening to my arguments and agreeing with me on this issue. And I appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Your film has come.
Your Honor.
Yes, it didn't go for you today.
Of course, the arguments were solid, rock solid. They had the stats to back it. But I think people are a bit sentimental towards goalkeepers because they do the job alone. But then if you look at the contribution of a 4-man or a 3-man effort, I think I had the facts of the case on point. However, we'll be back soon.
We'll be back soon. That's what it is. Check on the time. It's just about 44 minutes after 6.
Don't know how long it take man to reach ya. Man a touch ya. Them see na me, I am no man a touch ya. I'm looking at me, I see man a touch ya. Them a move like a creeper, them a grim reaper.
Now you should see these two people.
Not a sleeper, greed is deeper. Them a not the reader. We should have been together.
And on the wings of Stoneboy, I'd like to say thank you so much for all of you listening to us. Were here earlier, and Lawyer Eustace Akwe and Kawizi were also here. Tomorrow we are back with Dr. Pambo, and Ibrahim Sani Dara will join us in the studio tomorrow. And on behalf of the production team, Ivan Sambe Wuga, Immortale Jacquet Champon, Sergio Manucho, and Deborah. I'd like to thank all of you for being a part of it. Abeko Sankofi was behind the wheels of steel. My social media was by Adobia and DJ Yo-Yo. The team is back. My name is Fiifi Banson. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we are back. Lawyer Pambo, Dr. Pambo actually. I just dealt with lawyers, so Dr. Pambo will join me in the studio tomorrow. And tomorrow we are talking about artificial turfs. All the artificial turfs, the kind of injuries and stuff like that it could give. Metatarsal injuries to groin, to ACLs. This year, a lot of teams players suffered ACL injuries. And we want to know why. What is a metatarsal injury? And what are all these groin situations that comes up with players as well? Is it the pitches or is it training methods? Tomorrow he will join me here. And then, of course, Ibrahim Sani Dara will join us in the studio as well later on. I'll be having conversations on football, Ghana Football Association, and many more. Because tomorrow the GFA has a very special meeting with the clubs. And we want to see how it's going to work out for us. Thank you so much for being a part of our show today. Osifiaka will be on next at 7 with European Night. And don't forget, Arsenal is playing Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final at Tyneside. And I'm sure they'll be discussing it. Have you listened to Osifiaka's show? The European Night, you listen to him.